There we go. All yours, Sharon.
Oh, great. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be a participant in the Take Shape for Life Zoom call for personal trainers. We're just really excited to have you here. My name is Sharon Fako, and I am a certified health coach with Take Shape for Life. I am a personal trainer and a nutrition specialist. Today, what we're really hoping to do, myself and Johnny and Jill PIECHOWSKI, as personal trainers, is to share our vision and what we've been able to create with Take Shape for Life. But most importantly for you is to really walk away with 3 questions answered. Who is Take Shape for Life? Is this something that would actually be an opportunity that you could incorporate into your businesses as we did? And then really, how do you get started? So a little bit about Take Shape for Life. We are an optimal health company, and we really focus on creating optimal health through 3 different legs: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. For those of you as personal trainers, wouldn't you agree that what we typically do is work primarily on helping our clients with the healthy body? And what I love about Take Shape for Life is it literally takes into consideration the entire person. What I'd like you to do is take a peek at that trilogy wheel, which is a tool we use to help assess our clients. And maybe while we're talking, just give some thought to where you personally are at. What I'd like to do is just share my story as a personal trainer coming into Take Shape for Life. Again, because I was rather healthy physically, I ranked myself when I started really at a 10, which was a really, it's been my life, and it's something that I felt really good about. But what I realized is, as going through some personal things in my life, that my healthy finances and my healthy mind were really closer to like a 4 to 5. And in the course of working with so many clients and helping them transform their lives, it's transformed my life. And so now I'm working my way towards optimal health, which is that really cool sweet spot, that number 10 in the middle. And I'm more like a 7, maybe working my way towards the 8 right now, looking forward to making my journey all the way to a 10. And this is actually what we provide all of our clients, as well as the coaches. I'd like to tell you about, we'll go to the next slide, Johnny. One of my clients, one of many. So my clients start out with me. They may have 10 pounds to lose. They may have 200 pounds to lose. As a personal trainer, I could help them with part of it, but you can't exercise off excess pounds, maybe 2, 3, 4 pounds. So this is one of my many clients, Jess, and her journey. You can see physically her health would have been ranked, and what she ranked it at was a 2 on that trilogy wheel. But more importantly to me, or I should say as importantly, her healthy mind was ranked at a 2 as well. She couldn't stand looking at herself in the mirror. She didn't know how to begin. She had been where she is today, which is on the right, years ago, but some things got in her way. Some financial things were really difficult for her and her husband. They could not pay down on a mortgage, and so they were financially upside down. Her journey, believe it or not, this journey, just transformation, was a 4.5-month journey. So you can see that physically everything changed. But what I can tell you, not only with Jess, but all the other clients, is really what changed in her attitude in life. So living on purpose and creating what she wanted based on what mattered to her is what Take Shape for Life is all about. We move them in the direction of creating something special versus trying to solve a problem. So where she's ranked herself now is an 8 in healthy body, a 7 in healthy mind. She still has some work to do on that, but watching that transformation for me was where it really pulled on the heartstrings. And financially, what she decided to do, her transformation was so magnificent that she said, to hold herself accountable, as well as to provide herself an opportunity to pay it forward, she decided to become a health coach. And now she's earning some money to actually help pay off some of that debt. So she is creating and moving towards that sweet spot, that 10. So that's one of many, many clients. What I'd like to do now is just talk about our program. So Take Shape for Life is an incredibly comprehensive program. And it does start with a weight loss tool. We use MetaFast 5-in-1. would we not all agree as trainers that if someone is trying to just lose weight and they go on a program to lose weight, that typically the results are pretty negative long term? In fact, statistically, it's about 80 to 85% of the people who lose weight gain it back in 2 years. So that alone would never help someone be successful, and we knew that. The co-founder of the company then married the weight loss tool to the other two components, which are the health coach. We are the person that advocates for our clients. As personal trainers, we do that as well. So this is a really easy offshoot to be able to health coach, already knowing that that's something we enjoy. So we have not only ourselves as health coaches, but we have this incredible bio network of support. So what's really neat is our clients throughout the week can tap into numerous things to help keep themselves on track, which has been really profound for me to watch my clients. The third component is the Habits of Health system. And quite frankly, this is where I say the rubber hits the road. If a client were to just do the other two, their chances of success, again, would be much less if they did not tap into our Habits of Health system. And that's really where the healthy mind component comes into play. So there's a knowledge component and there's an action component. And would we all not agree that knowledge alone will not get us where we want to go? We need to know how to move forward in our own strength. So let's talk a little bit about the MetaFast. So MetaFast, for the average consumer who does our program, they're going to be eating 5 MetaFast meals while they're learning to eat healthy by making 1 lean protein and green vegetable meal. That's the beginning of them learning really how to eat properly and the timing of their nutrients. So they're eating 6 times a day. They're spacing that out. Jill will go more into blood sugar regulation. They're eating again every 2 to 3 hours. The program is clinically proven, and I love that I can state that to every single client. Johns Hopkins University, it's safe for so many different conditions, in particular diabetes, and we know where our society is at this point. Our clients, again, are motivated by the fact that they lose 2 to 5 pounds a week their first 2 weeks, and then it slows down to about 1 to 2 after that. That's the piece that keeps them moving because they see results. Our meals replacements, I kind of call them the grab-and-go nutritious meal replacements. So we know that society, our lives are really busy, and we need really super convenient foods. Most people, when they start out and trying to actually eat whole and organic, they start out, down here, and they're trying to get to like our levels as personal trainers. And, that's just not an easy thing to do. This makes it super convenient, super easy. All they need to do is concentrate on 1 meal a day on how to do it. And then when they transition out of MetaFast, they'll know exactly how to do that 6 times a day. But our portion control meal replacements satisfy the hunger. As a personal trainer, it was really important for me to know that it was muscle sparing. So it wasn't going to eat the muscle. High in protein, low glycemic, portable, convenient, and cost neutral. So our clients don't have to spend any more money than what they currently are doing. In fact, the majority of my clients tell me that I save them money. The meal that they make is really what we as personal trainers value so much. They're eating really high quality protein. They're eating vegetables. We've taken out a few other food groups right now. They get reintroduced while they go through transition. But most importantly, what they're really learning to do is how to prepare a meal and how to eat healthy. And this transitions into their entire family. So we've seen this just organically grow within our clients and the people that they love and care about. What I'd like to do is pass the wand to one of my friends, Jill PIECHOWSKI, who again will just add more value to what our program offers.
Well, hi everybody. My name is Jill PIECHOWSKI. I am a health coach and a personal trainer. I've actually been a personal trainer for, it's going to be 19 years this year. Hard for me to believe, but spent many years training in a large health club that's very popular here in Minnesota. And I found myself always kind of like a hamster on a wheel, never really getting ahead. And also really deep down looking for a way to help my clients. you can tell people and write out nutritious programs for them as far as how they are to eat, but so often I would find that they had trouble following the plans. So I'm going to go to the next slide here and talk a little bit about why I've found that the Take Shape for Life program works so well for people. Sharon explained how we have the 5 portion controlled meal replacements. They are all nutritiously equivalent as far as their macronutrients and calorie level. And it was funny when I first discovered Take Shape and was looking at what the program offered and really looked into it, I realized that what I was looking at was actually how I was trying to teach my clients to eat. Several small meals a day, all balanced with their carbs and protein. I personally had tried to do that myself. And, you know, I think if you think about it, you'll find that if something is hard for someone, they're very unlikely to keep doing it long term. And so what I found with this program is it makes eating in that pattern very easy for people. And what it does for them, if you're looking at this slide, what this slide shows is basically the typical American's way to eat. A big breakfast, or maybe they just have orange juice, but it's a high carb breakfast, followed by a really deep drop in their blood sugars. Again, maybe a carb again mid-morning, or some sort of snack that drives that blood sugar back up. Kind of a yo-yo of up and down blood sugars, followed by an increase in insulin in their system. If you keep doing that pattern of eating day after day, week after week, year after year, it causes an increase overall in your blood insulin. And one of the secondary responses of our body to having high insulin is a storage of fat. And so it just becomes a vicious cycle for people. So following this program, using the meal replacements helps us to get out of that. This happens to be a client of mine, and I love Jennifer. She's done an amazing job, but I use her as a client example for a couple of reasons, particularly for personal trainers. Jennifer and I have never met personally. I live in Minnesota. She lives in California. She also was someone who had tried many, many different programs over the years, but found herself with a foot injury and was not able to exercise. So here's 2 things that I found really important for me as a personal trainer trying to improve my financial situation as well as to reach more people. Here I was able to help somebody in a state that I wasn't in, and help somebody who wasn't able to exercise. The other thing that I found exciting is, as a personal trainer, when you're charging a lot of money for people, there are people that just can't afford exercise, but they have to eat. And as Sharon referenced, almost all of our clients, when studied, find that this program is either cost neutral for them or a cost savings. So, and there's one other thing that I wanted to add to my comments about Jennifer, which is really exciting for me. Just yesterday, we found out now Jennifer has become a coach as well, because she really is excited about paying it forward to other people, and it helps her to maintain her focus. Her client out in California that she has just announced that she'd lost 100 pounds. So what a change, super exciting. Go ahead, the next one. So this is what we see with people that are typically on our meal replacement programs. Their blood sugar levels are much less dramatic changes, and their insulin levels are lower as well. So all in all, blood sugar is controlled, and we teach them to do that. They learn these new habits by following this program. So another part of it, of course, is the support of a health coach. I typically call my clients every week, and that's, I believe, the typical pattern most of our health coaches. But not only do they have to rely on me, we in Take Shape for Life have a lot of other, what we call our support system. We have online Facebook pages. We've got free support calls that happen every week with certified doctors and nurses, as well as behavioral specialists. The education system, Dr. A's Habits of Health Lifestyle System, really also offers kind of a backbone of support for those people as they learn and are educated on what they need to keep their weight off going forward. And that is a picture there of Dr. Anderson, who wrote our Habits of Health system. His book and workbook are what we have our clients work through. So getting started on the program for our clients is super easy. They connect with their health coach. We complete a client profile on them, looking at what their main motivators are, as well as looking at their health history. They typically purchase their first month a variety kit that we call the B Slim Optional Health Kit, and then they get started, and the food is delivered right to their door. So Johnny, you go ahead, take it away.
Cool. Thank you, Jill and Sharon. So I get to talk about the advantages of becoming a health coach. And, you know, as these little bullet points will note, it's for a trainer, it's just an additional tool to add to your kind of tool belt, so to speak, in learning more about the business and all that good stuff. It's cool because it's my background real quick is just that I have been a trainer for, 5-6 years now, 6, maybe 7 years, I guess. I jumped into it and started my own gym, which kind of turned into multiple gyms. And so I became more of a business operator, so to speak. But truthfully, with kind of thousands of primarily women coming through my gyms, I was frustrated by seeing most of them maybe lose a few inches, maybe get stronger, but general weight loss, we weren't making much progress there, so that was really tough. And then I was trying to wear so many hats between my marketing and my administrative and doing the finances and sales. And I really was looking for a turnkey coaching program. And this kind of fell in my lap. I actually kind of stumbled upon it when I started seeing a few of my boot campers were melting, as I would kind of come in to check in on things every once in a while. I'd be like, you've lost some weight, haven't you? And you're like, yeah. So Take Shape for Life became that kind of common theme. I'm like, what is this all about? And they started telling me that they were enjoying just consistent results, which I couldn't say that my boot camp was doing with so many people trying to out-exercise their crummy diet, so to speak. So 1 hour of working out wasn't able to overcome their 23 hours of, eating the way that they wanted to. So the cool thing about this, becoming a health coach, I started seeing it as another whole stream of income, revenue. So not only did I have my business going, but I had this other kind of coaching business. And I was able to really leverage my time because I was able to start helping people across the country, not only in St. Louis, which is where I was at the time. And so the cool thing about this is that it's the right product and it's the right partner. We're kind of the leader in the safe, effective weight loss, and have been for over 30 years now with Medifast. And it's a brand that's been recommended by over 20,000 doctors since 1980. It's a proven safe and effective in clinical studies, as Sharon mentioned earlier, as it says, conducted by researchers from major universities, teaching hospitals. And it's an American company, which is great. It owns its, R&D and manufacturing and warehousing all here in the States. And it was the stock of the decade on the Russell 3000, as well as some of those other, notables at the bottom of the screen. It's the right business model, for health coaching in general. I started getting into that, but I didn't really have a platform for me to really use. And so it's a very cool, unique business model that focuses really on my clients. If they're getting results, then they stick with the program, which they do, versus what I was offering before this came across in my life. I wasn't able to really get someone dramatic, and improve results. So it's consultative and relational, and we're able to support clients with their health goals. And that, of course, like Sharon and Jill mentioned, it has this ripple effect into their families, their marriages, their extended families, their friends. It's pretty cool how that expands. So the compensation is kind of a the cool part, because everyone wants to know about the money, of course. And yet most of the trainers, including myself, especially even owning my own gym, I was making, a lot of income, and yet a lot of it was going to overhead for rent and insurance and trainers and equipment and all that good stuff. And I found that I was making more money very quickly, more profit, let's just say, through Take Shape for Life than I was even through my business. And I think the same might be true, just for trainers in general, because a lot of times you have to give a piece to the gyms and whatnot. So you start off and you're going to make something between 15, and when you're a very first coach starting in, you make 15% of all of your coaching clients' orders. Eventually, once you kind of build it up to, roughly 22, 23 coach clients, you max out at 31%, which is great. You get bonuses, consistency bonuses, as long as you kind of keep working the system. You're not trying to recreate the wheel. You're just literally following through on what they provide for you. And it's really simple. It's fun. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, to be totally honest. So when you look at the actual compensation for coaches, this is all charted off of the actual active health coach performance, compensation that they've done. And so this is real numbers, which is kind of cool. It's not just a hypothesis. So if you look at it as a health coach, you have 1 to 4 clients there in that second column, or I should say maybe that third column. 1 to 4 clients, you're making 15%. Your average monthly income is going to be around, $100. As you move up though with clients, because a lot of times then they bring in referrals and it starts to work itself, actually, which is pretty cool. You work your way into, $1,000, a little over $1,000 as a director. I think it was probably around, around that point, $1,200 that I just noticed in my, I was busy working, my other business. I was like, oh, I made $1,200 from Take Shape for Life. That's nothing to, shake your finger at. That's pretty legit. And then very quickly did I double that into becoming an executive director and making, roughly $3,000 each month. And then it's been on from there. But it's very cool and very doable in supporting people and being fulfilled and helping them change their lives, to be honest. So you move once you start with that aspect, you start then moving in more to a business coach aspect, where you're compensated for not only supporting coaches, but you're also supporting other clients. You're also then supporting coaches. And a lot of my coaches that I work with were clients at one point, just kind of as Jill was mentioning. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, you make consistency bonuses of $1,000 every 3 months when you're hitting a certain threshold, which is pretty nice little bonus. Again, here's kind of the more in-depth compensation to see the potential. And I would say it was my very first convention national convention that I went to, when I really saw and the light bulb went off for me of what was possible. And those people that were making, global director making, maybe roughly $20,000 a month, all the way up to those that were making over $1 million a year. They're doing nothing more than what we're doing. They just maybe have done it longer, or they've got a certain niche that they've done really well with. But the really cool part is that we get to learn from them. So it's kind of, we're always being trained by people who are actually in the field doing it, versus it coming from, executives in an office space, in an ivory tower teaching us. This is really cool that we get to be supported by people that are all doing it, which is pretty cool. So the way you look at it though, as I saw it as a trainer, because I've always been an entrepreneur, but kind of thinking about, time versus money and that sort of thing. To get going, you can very quickly, if you just start hammering out clients, and if you have clients that are coming through your, personal training and your gym, and they need some support, you can very quickly ramp up the clients, which is actually what I did. But you get to a threshold where you can only take on so many more clients. So your income can go up pretty dramatically, pretty quickly, as mine did, to 3,000 or 4,000, and 5,000, 6,000 now. But it eventually taps out, because you only have so much time to work with so many clients. But then when I really kind of got the light bulb went off, and I really started thinking, helping other people become coaches and helping then teach those coaches to help other people, you really start to leverage your time and your money. And that's where your income really starts to soar, which is the really cool part. So the compensation plan income curve kind of looks like that S curve a little bit, where it takes off, and then kind of in the middle there, as you're kind of building, moving towards equity, and eventually then starts to really climb exponentially once you have an incredible team of rock stars around you. And Jill and Sharon are those type of people. So what are you looking for? The questions for you to ask yourself honestly is your current path taking you to your dreams? I'll be honest, before I started, personal training, just when I was in the corporate world, it really wasn't. I wasn't happy. I was literally just trading hours for dollars, forgetting on my way home from work what I even did during that day. I had no idea what I was really doing to make a difference. So would you like to help people and to make a difference? Are you looking to do something fun, meaning and profitable? And if you could earn additional $500, $1,000, $3,000 or more per month, would that affect your life? It's almost a rhetorical question, because I think most of us would shake our head yes. So that's kind of the cool part. This is one of my clients. This is my mom's best friend. And my mom passed away almost 10 years ago. And Jan was, she was there, probably met me hours after that I was born. And I reached out to Jan to say, hey, would you like to try this? Be my guinea pig and take shape for life. And she said, sure, I got nothing else to lose, But similar to my mom, she had tried pretty much everything in terms of weight loss. And this one stuck because I think it has, as we talked about, those three components of the meal replacements, the health coach, and really learning habits of health. And it's one of those things where it's not too complex. I often say that the enemy to execution is complexity. And when we complicate things, that's where we start to drop the ball. So Jan lost a bunch of weight, as you can see there. She lost over 80 pounds in roughly 8 months. And then she's now one of my awesome health coaches as well. So she's paying it forward. And the income that she's made has allowed her to start traveling more. They've done things, they paid off debt. They've, worked on their house, all these things that, she's nearly 70 years old, and she and her husband, a couple extra $1,000 a month goes a long way, which is pretty cool. So I want you to imagine your future. What would you be doing? For me, I decided that I wanted to move. So once I was virtual, I moved out to Denver here, Colorado, and now I ski and I mountain bike and I hike. But it's whatever you want to do. Do you want to spend more time with your kids? Get out of the office? Do you want to, get out and do more fun adventures? Do you want to surf there, as our man Greg Rex does a lot? That's his board meetings he likes to call every once in a while. And, whatever the case might be, whatever your dreams are, I think that's the cool thing when you start really envisioning the future for you. So how do you get started? Truthfully, if it makes sense and you think it's the right fit for you, you can get started just by kind of contacting the person that invited you to this webinar, and of course, we're all here to help and support you. We're going to kind of open things up to question and answers. But Sharon, Jill, do you guys have any other thoughts? I will mention that this very last slide here is just to get started. The first initial investment is just $199 to become a coach. Compare that to doing before with my previous business. A lot more money. So
I do have a comment I can add. I said I have a comment I can add. There was a situation that happened recently that just really struck me. I was standing at the gym that I go to at the desk talking to one of the trainers. She just returned from vacation. And I said, well, what are you doing working behind the desk? Why aren't you out training some more clients? And she said, well, I had to put in some extra hours, I'll make up for that vacation because I don't get paid when I'm gone. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And so then she was putting in extra hours behind the desk, working at almost minimum wage to make up for the time that she had missed. And while I was standing there talking to her, I received 2 email confirmations that I had just gotten 2 new orders, and thought, I think I just made almost $200 while she's working for minimum wage. So that just really struck me. I had to add that.
I'm glad you did. I should have remembered to say that. That is the part of being virtual.
Right.
It's not something where you have to be in the gym all the time to say, hey, you can do that because you want to do it. And yet, if you want to take some time and go adventure seeking, you could still get paid while
right.
vacation. Pretty fun.
Yep.
So, Sharon, any hear from you. Any thoughts? Otherwise, we can open it up.
For me personally, the ability to go whenever I want, because it's virtual. I train, and my clients, I mean, if I'm gone, I'm gone. But for me to be able to, my dad broke his leg, I can go visit him. I can go whenever I want. I guess that is something that most people don't have. And working for a larger company, and then working for, a larger personal training organization, it's like you're tied down to what they want you to do. And who doesn't want that flexibility in their lives? Who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
It's been a blessing in mine.
Amen. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to stop the recording, then we can kind of open things up for